Take a break from your busy schedule and join Harold Sala for Guidelines, a 5-minute commentary on living.
Some men find it difficult to say, "I love you." But in Bert Salva's case, what was tough was getting Mary Shiminsky, the object of his affection, to really believe him. For almost 4 years, Bert courted Mary, but he didn't get anywhere. Actually, what he got was a clear message: "Get lost, I never want to see you again." To make the message more explicit, Mary changed her phone number and moved in with her parents, who live in an isolated area, and left no forwarding address. Bert, however, just didn't go away. He really loved her and wanted her to know that. Trying to find out where she was, he could only get a few leads. He knew the general area where she was, but he didn't know just where. He thought, and then he had an idea. At least he knew one way, one slim chance by which he might convey the simple message, "I love you." He bought paint and a long-handled roller. He knew the way she went to work, and though he wasn't terribly confident, he had to try. In the darkness of the night, he climbed on a 3-story railroad trestle which spanned the highway near the place where she was living and painted a message. When she saw it, she knew who had painted it. But the irony of the story is nobody else in the community knew. Nobody had ever heard of Mary Shiminsky. But that desperate act, much like a quarterback's Hail Mary in the last 3 seconds of a football game, is what really got her attention and eventually turned her heart. She got in touch with him, and a month later accepted his proposal of marriage. A year later, twins arrived and blessed their home. 4 years later, with the mystery still unsolved in the community, Mary wrote to the newspaper admitting she was Mary Shiminsky. And the newspaper staff, understanding what happened, sensed a good story. They responded by sending a reporter. Husband Bert told him he didn't know if he could do it again, hanging there 3 stories in space, holding on to the railroad trestle with one hand and a paintbrush with the other. But he was convinced it was worth it. The message, "I love you, Mary Shiminsky," got through. Do you ever marvel at the length to which someone like Bert will go to get a message across? Why is this important? Psychiatrist William Glasser was convinced that only by giving and receiving love can your deep emotional needs be met. It is as necessary to normal human survival as is oxygen to your lungs and nutrition to your body. You, friend, also have that deep need in your heart. The cold reality, however, is that every woman doesn't have a Bert Salva who is willing to hang by one hand from a railroad trestle to get that message across. Some desperately wish that the one they married would and could say those 3 words which make the difference. Somewhere, love withered and died. Others live alone, often feeling separated and neglected. There is one, though, who does love you, and he went to an amazing amount of trouble to get the message across. God so loved the world, wrote John, that he sent his one and only Son to our planet with the message of the Father who demonstrated that love. Today's commentary will help you come to grips with the importance of the Father's love. Never forget, he loves you deeply.
You've just heard Dr. Harold Sala with Guidelines, a 5-minute commentary on living. If you would like to listen to the program again, download a copy, subscribe to our e-commentary, or view other resources, visit guidelines.org. We would like to hear from you too. You can email us at info@guidelines.org. That's info@guidelines.org. Thanks for listening, and we invite you to join us again for the next edition of Guidelines.